Alright everybody, today this is going to be a very short one, and arguably speaking, I don't know whether you call this a board game, but I just found something interesting. And where you play on the table, there is no board, there is no cards, but what you get in this little box, this tiny box is very tiny. I got this from China, so it's pronounced 折来折去, and it comes like directly translate to folding and folding with interest. So basically, in what's inside this box is that I mean, this is all the instruction there is. There's no instruction sheet here. Oh yeah, there is actually an instruction sheet, but I think the instruction sheet looks exactly the same. Yeah, so it does. But basically, I'll explain how the game works. There's 100 puzzles in this box. This box is relatively cheap. I would expect it will cost less than $1 USD, or maybe just slightly over kind of, but it's very cheap. And look at this. This is all that you get inside. There's 100 pieces of paper here. Each of them is one unique puzzle. If you like origami and if you like puzzle, this is probably it's perfect. You could just like tear out the ones that you want to play on your train, right? Or you want to go on trip, and you can just bring some of this and then entertain yourself throughout the trip. I have, as you can see, I have already solved 1 to 8, so 9th onwards will be what it is, and then the ultimate goal is 100. 100 is the last one. Yeah, 96. Oh, have I been shortchanged? My God! So there isn't 100. I don't know, but anyway, so I'm not sure if this is original. I couldn't find this anywhere on Board Game Geek. Maybe they don't really consider this a board game. This is Origami Game. But it could have been a knockoff from some other board games with a different name. So if you do know, do let me know what's the name of the real original game. I would really like to know about it, and then maybe I can just correct this in the comments or something like that. But anyway, let me just simply show you how it works. So in this game, you always get a folded paper, and there's no folds here before this because I already solved this. So there's some folds here, but anyway, you'll be flat like what you see here. It's not totally flat. You can see in the light, there's no folds. So you will have some black squares and some white squares. So in this game, what you're supposed to do is you're supposed to get the black square and only the black square on one side, the white square and only the white square on the other side. So as an illustration, when you have this, what it does that you will fold this in, giving you this, where there's a black and white here, and then you fold it one more time, you will get the white on one side and the black on the other side. So this is quite interesting. As you can see, there's it really kind of tests your brain kind of thing, and I think this is good for all ages. In fact, let me see if it says what age you need. It said 10 plus, but I guess there's no harm starting early. I guess even little boys and girls, it doesn't hurt for them to use their brain a little bit, and I guess it does help for me as well. In between board games, in between no serious heavy stuff, between missions of Gloomhaven and stuff like that. That sometimes you just want to spend maybe 5 minutes. Some of this doesn't take 5 minutes because it's okay for because this is still the lower level and kind of stuff. But as you guys get harder and harder, in a later stage, I can preview. It's not going to spoil anything. But look at this. I'm not even sure how I'm going to fold this. And what's the thing about it is there's no answer to this. Maybe it's good to have answer, but I don't think you really need it. It's just a matter of figuring out, and there's no doubt when you get it right, it's right. So I'm gonna spoil a little bit by solving this puzzle 7, or maybe 1 or 2. But don't worry, because there's 100 of this. Okay, 96 to be exact. 96, right? Yeah, 96 to be exact. But you won't spoil anything. It's like I'm just making sure that I didn't lose. Okay, sorry, my bad. So some part of it dropped off. So there is really 100 here, I think. I should always check the box. Yeah, so there's 100 here. Yeah, so I didn't get shortchanged. Nice, but some of them dropped off. That's why I couldn't get it right. So as you can see, it's superly portable. It's just this big. And it's If you really want to kind of keep it, it's replayable, but you know the folds is kind of going to give away. Anyway, it's it's like $1, so you know it's to make a good gift for everybody who's interested. I mean, in fact, you know, if you're really interested, I don't mind buy a few copies and just giving to you, you know, like for free. I mean, if you can meet up with me, but of course not all the way sending this across to Mars or something. Okay, so anyway, back to this. Let me show you how it's done. So you want to get all the white on one side and all the black on the other side. So so one of the way I'll tackle this is usually the green ones are the one you don't want. So it's a hint that all this have to be hidden. So maybe I'll do this, and then I'll do this. So as you can see, the green, I already moved the green kind of to one side and the green kind of to the other side. So you want to get the black together and the white together. Pretty straightforward, right? As you can see, so you know, if I fold it this way, I'll get the black together, and I fold it this way, I'll get the white together. And you know, so when you get the answer right, it's very clear cut. This is the right answer. You know, white on one side, black on the other side. Soft. And you know, it's like, it's quite fun, but you know, it's like, because I already kind of like, you know, got all the answers right, so it's kind of but it makes you think, you know, when you look at this. You don't need to be an origami expert, but you know, as you run through your brains, it helps stimulates you to, you know, think. So this is one of those puzzly stuff which I think there's really no harm in playing games like this. You know, you don't break friendships like Monopoly. You don't get frustrated because, you know, you can't get through a level because it's too hard, you know. Or you know, the dice rolls and the, you know, luck is just playing. There's none of this here. It's just pure logic thinking, and then, you know, if you can't solve it, just put it down, you know, just you come back to it again, no problem. But anyway, so same thing. Maybe let me just show you this other two. So because anyway, it's not that big. If you really don't want to, you know, spoil this, you could just, like, you know, forget this. In fact, you will forget this because it's so easy to, you know, forget about how you do it, that, you know, when you come across it again, you do it again. Like I said, green usually needs to be hidden, so black and white. So this looks pretty good. Like the black is already one side. You just need to kind of like get all the white on the other side, but you don't want to do it wrongly, and then, you know, it's like having fold this in, for example, then you find that, oh, the green have to, you know, cover the white. That's obviously wrong. So what I did was I tried to put the green onto the other side first, like this, you know, and then, okay, it looks like the green is here, but here I have some piece of green here. Maybe can I do this? Yep. So, you know, yeah, and you know, it's like you can really smile, right? You know how it works. So I just fold the white one here in, and the white one here, and then I'll leave all the black on one side, the white on the other side. So similarly, this isn't so not all the puzzles are asymmetric. As you can see, some of the puzzles here this is definitely not asymmetric. The way you solve this is really more complex than you think, and I'm not sure how difficult it is because I haven't reached there. So this is only puzzle 6. This one is a little bit challenging, you know, because if you like fold this and if you fold, you know, you kind of can overlap green with green. I mean, if you haven't figured that out. So I thought maybe the first thing is that I want to do this to, you know, fold the green to the other side. And then what happened here is that you know, if I fold this and this, does it work? Yeah, maybe it does. Or maybe I could do it the other way around by folding this in first. No, you can't, because it's like, it's going to be a bit more difficult. So maybe one of the things that you give this green in first, and then, you know, like if you fold this, you know, as long as you're covering green, you're not covering white, you're still on the right track. And with that, look at it, you have kind of like solved it already, because the black is already all here. All you need to do is just flip all the whites over, you know, the last part. And you know, it's a very clear cut. You get it right. This is the white, this is the black. And so this is just the, you know, the gist of this game. I have actually tried a few, and I have been a bit hesitating to, you know, kind of get this because it's kind of like listed under, you know, children's toy. And you know, I think the borders of board games is really like, you know, it depends on where you draw the line. I mean, this is technically speaking not even a card game, not even a board game, because there's no board, there's no card. But nevertheless, it's a good tabletop game that you can pass time with. And so I've decided to introduce this to more people, and I hope that you have some fun, some in betweens your board games, and so that it doesn't like kill your interest. It's like, oh, I don't want to play another mission of Gloomhaven or something like that. But here it is. So this is like I don't know if there's a way to purchase it overseas. I will really wish there is, or if someone finds out what is the English or Japanese version of equivalent of this, which this was a knockoff from, most likely. I mean, sorry, but I've encountered a lot of things that in China is basically a game which is so-called original is a knockoff of another game, such as this one. Hey, but this one, it seems I'm here. Why don't I talk a little bit about this? This is what the Chinese name literally translate to dungeon hunters. The graphics looks good. It has a hologram sticker against counterfeit. It's published by a kind of no, this is not the publisher. This is the publisher here. There's kind of like there's a little bit of establishment for this publisher, and then the quality is pretty good. So this is actually not a knockoff game. I mean, it could be a copied idea, but this is an original as far as it's concerned in China, because it's published by a legit publisher. And so I have actually laminated this player board. The player board was really thin. Even after laminating, it feels really thin, as you can see. But there's a double-sided. Look at the artwork. The artwork is really good. And I can tell one thing I do give credit for is, the original game artwork is nowhere near this. This is fantastic artwork compared to like the original game, which I'll tell you what's the original game right at the end. But look at the artwork. It's pretty good. It's like and then this is like the ice mystic. Then we have warriors, holy knights, knights with great tall hammers, and this is like the sword masters. And then more of heroes. This is like a demon hunter, with super evil blades. And we have a wind archer. It's kind of elvish, So basically, this game is in Chinese, unfortunately, but I will translate it. This is where you put your deck. This is where you put your discard. And this is where the power of the various characters. So when this character attacks, you discard 3 cards, and everybody else could like draw 2 more cards. So it's a team game, as you can see already. It's like some of the abilities. Talk a little bit about some of the bosses. So the bosses, unfortunately, is one side. How I wish there was 2 sides. So they came with 4 bosses. We have an evil wizard. We have a evil tree spirit. And then it's like dark overlord with worms. And then the dragon masters or something. As you can see, this game is basically a lot to do with symbols, and it's not really that bad. It's like if you really even language independent, because once you know how to play the original game, this is just like the original game. And it's like in this game, basically everybody's going to have a deck of their own color cards, and the cards will be spread accordingly, because there'll be some people. Depending on how many players you have, and then you have to have different cards here, and different cards will give you different powers. Like some of them will have the sword, some of them will have this blue, and some of them greens, and so on. So basically, you have to use your card to defeat monsters. And how do you do that? So I'm going to draw out some of the monster cards to show you. As you can see, the artwork is not that bad. So the last few cards here are like special cards, so they will trigger events and things like that. But typically, monsters looks like this. So the monsters have a matching logo that looks like the matching symbols, like one of the cards that's shown here. Okay, so basically, what this game is about is that when it starts, you get all the player ready, and then based on the boss. The boss will tell you how many monsters you'll be fighting before you fight the boss. So in this case, this is the level 1 monsters, and then there's 20 cards here. So you prepare 20 of this, and then you flip the first one. For example, if you were to flip this barbarian, And then what it does is that it needs 2 of this blue and 1 of this, and then each player will have some hands in their which they're already drawn. So with the hands, they are gonna like try to do their part to defeat him. And you realize, let's say if I have this and the rest, oh, I have 1 of this. Okay, I'll quickly play this card. And then players keep doing this. There's a timer, so the suggested timing is 5 minutes. Of course, you know, house rule it if you feel that it's too stressed. So start 5 minutes, put the 20, and then you just flip the first one, and then the timers just keep going on 5 minutes. And then players will quickly play cards. You know, once the satisfied requirement is done, you flip this over, the next minions comes out, and then you start defeating the next minion and the next minion, and until you know like reach the final boss. And then this is where, you know, everybody will chunk in everything that they got at her, and it was like, oh, you need these 3 symbols, quickly play those cards and then draw again, quickly play those cards and draw again. And then basically you defeat the boss if you can all do it in 5 minutes. So it's pretty tight, and I guess it's very nice party kind of game, because it's like, you know, there'll be a lot of chaos. You know, it's like people, oh my god, we know you need this, and do you have this, no, you know, discard cards, get more cards and stuff like that. And it seems like, you know, it's like really interesting in the sense that it makes you know, there's a lot of cooperative part of the elements here and everything. So that's the gist of the games. The game, in fact, because of the graphics and the number of cards, is very different from the you know, original game it was based on. So there are the artworks is really fantastic, as you can see, you know, although repeated, you know, but it looks really cool. You know, I mean, I'm not asking too much, but you know, fantasy is fantasy. So this looks like, you know, awesome fantasy gears. And then the bosses also looks pretty good, you know. I don't know whether they got this from somewhere, or maybe they have some, you know, artist that drew it for them. But anyway, so here is near the end of this. I promise I'll review to you what this game was originally took the idea from. That game is 5 Minutes Dungeon. So if you were to go check it out, look at how 5 Minutes Dungeon look like, and then you can tell that the artworks is pretty different. I basically bought this without knowing that it's 5 Minutes Dungeon, because I was actually quite intrigued by the idea that, you know, there's a quick dungeon cooperative board game that has a time element. Actually, I didn't even know about a time element, because if I knew about a time element, I would have guessed it's a 5 Minutes Dungeon. But you know, just the cover itself is like, you know, what got me. And then it looks pretty cool, pretty good. And then so I decided to go and get this, and then I'm gonna like try it out, you know, have some fun with everybody. It's not very expensive, it's very cheap. Okay, so today I introduced you 2 games. So I hope you enjoyed the video. If you'd like to see more, you can always subscribe, you know, so that when new products comes out, new reviews that I do comes out, I will actually post it, and then you will get a notification. But otherwise, I think I'll see you again soon, and then I hope you have some fun time playing board games or other games like this. So thanks for watching.